Tonight, countdown to the Tonys. It's Broadway's biggest night.
I wanna play airplane. I wanna put my arms out and fly.
And we're one-on-one with this year's nominees.
It's a love story. It's Romeo and Juliet.
It's amazing how many people say to us after the show, this is about my father.
To have this opportunity feels like once in a lifetime.
It's just a huge, huge privilege to be in a brand new musical on Broadway.
I'm just a comedian, and if it's funny, it's a gift.
Plus, a backstage tour of this season's hottest shows.
Do we know that that wallpaper's coming off on the bar thing?
Here's Simone Boyce.
Broadway wraps its highest-grossing season ever with a glamorous celebration this Sunday night at the 69th Annual Tony Awards. An American in Paris and Fun Home are tied for the most nominations, but we're with all the frontrunners up for Broadway's top honors.
Caption. My dad and I were exactly alike. I see everything.
It's amazing how many people say to us after the show, this is about my father or my mother or my family or my brother.
You can't choose your family. It's the messy reality that haunts many of us and the characters in Broadway's breakout hit Fun Home.
I wanna play airplane. I wanna play airplane.
Michael Cerveris and Judy Kuhn play the heads of this dysfunctional family unit that has racked up 12 Tony nominations, including Best Musical.
It's about accepting ourselves and accepting each other with all of our faults and failings.
Maps show you what is simple and true.
Catchy rock ballads sing of the true and often painful memories of cartoonist Alison Bechdel, her childhood, her domineering father, and her own sexuality.
This is something that's groundbreaking, and we wanted to start it in a place where we knew was a great place for theater and a great place for musicals.
And while it's new to the Great White Way, Fun Home first wowed audiences last year at the Public Theater. The show's producers, Kristen Kasky, Mike Isaacson, and Barbara Whitman.
One of the things that happens often when a show comes from downtown to uptown is that it loses its intimacy, and that ultimately goes to a much bigger theater.
Now Fun Home has moved into the immersive Circle in the Square theater, offering audiences new perspective on this cutting-edge, coming-of-age story.
I know
It feels like a real communal experience for us and the audience, that we're all in this together. And I think that's what live theater is really meant to be.
Once they're there, they have an experience that they don't forget.
A Hollywood classic roars back to life on Broadway in An American in Paris, sending two new faces on the path to Tony Gold. Heading into this Sunday's awards, this breathtaking reimagining of the 1951 film boasts 12 Tony nominations, including one for the coveted Best Musical trophy.
Gene Kelly is the reason why I started dancing, the reason why I wanted to become a professional dancer. And to have this opportunity feels like once in a lifetime.
Robert Fairchild steps into a role made famous by the man he idolized, and it might just bring him his first Tony win.
Growing up in Salt Lake, I didn't know what Broadway was. I didn't know it was a street with all these theaters on it. I just knew that it was like what Gene Kelly did, and I just wanted to do that.
And after finding success as a principal dancer with the New York City Ballet, An American in Paris is giving Robert an opportunity to fulfill another dream, singing.
I had so much fun. It was a full body experience. It felt like I had wanted to sing for so long and didn't know it. And it was just the most exciting, most exhilarating feeling to get to do those two things at the same time.
Gene Kelly shared the screen with Leslie Caron. Robert shares the stage with Leanne Cope.
It's just a huge, huge privilege not only to be on Broadway, but to be in a brand new musical on Broadway. But, you know, that's very rare. We're extremely privileged to be in that position.
Leanne is a dancer with the Royal Ballet in London. And just as it was Karen's first time on film, this is Leanne's first time on The Great White Way, and she's already up for a Best Actress Tony.
I was lucky enough to meet Leslie Caron a couple of weeks ago. She told me about her experience and how she got the part, and it kind of, in some ways, felt very similar to me in that she was a ballet dancer, and Gene Kelly came to Paris and saw her dance and was like, oh, I think we should give her a go. And she got the part and was in Hollywood weeks later. So I kind of feel we're on a similar journey, which is really lovely.
Both Leanne and Robert were able to immerse themselves in French culture to prepare for their roles. The show actually opened in Paris before making the move to Broadway.
For me, because I'm playing a French lady, the most amazing thing was being surrounded by French women all day long. They just have something very special about them, and trying to put that on myself, because English women don't have that.
Being an American in Paris, playing an American in Paris, was like the best research you could have ever done.
And along with getting a sense for Paris, they also had to get a sense for the time period the show takes place in, right after World War II.
Everyone's in a very difficult place in their life. People have lost people during the war. Paris is in ruins. Everyone's spirit's very low, and basically I feel it's the journey of Paris and of the people bringing themselves out of the war.
The music helps set the tone. It comes from the legendary partnership of brothers George and Ira Gershwin.
I feel as an audience member, I could probably sit and close my eyes and enjoy the show as much just listening to the music than as watching it, because the music is almost another character in the story. It's so amazing.
I want that magic of walking down the streets in Paris, that when they see us walking through our own streets on the show, that they feel transported.
I hope that people will experience a tiny bit of Paris with us on the journey, and then maybe come for a glass of champagne in this wonderful French cafe.
But for every Broadway debut, another star bids farewell.
Everything that I've been blessed enough to do has really been extraordinary.
Superstar Chita Rivera received her 10th Tony nomination for her final performance in the devastatingly beautiful musical The Visit, also a nominee for Best Musical.
It's a love story. It's Romeo and Juliet, only it's set under different circumstances.
It's a dark, romantic tale of an older woman out for revenge. She returns to the town where her lover rejected her many years ago.
People can relate to this, men can relate to it, women, older women, and it's you see the young love, and then you see the older love.
Playing the role of Chita's ex is fellow Tony Award winner Roger Rees.
This is about, in the end, two older people, very rare in the theatre, who are, in spite of everything, always deeply in love with each other.
As she takes her final bow, Chita falls deeper in love with the stage.
I'm the perfect example. Hang in there. If you love what you do and you want to be in the business for a long, long time.
When Countdown to the Tonys returns, unprecedented access backstage.
Do we know that wallpaper's coming off on the bar thing?
Yeah.
Our cameras are rolling to capture the moments right before Kristen Chenoweth takes the stage.